So, I have manic depression, but it's okay sometimes. I decided I wanted to go to the Gates Foundation to see if they'd finance eventually my school. I thought it was kind of along the lines of the things that Melinda and Bill appreciate, education, big time. And so I got a van. I bought a van from a friend for nothing. I paid $100, and I was going to make payments, but he lowered the price to $1,200. It was a nice Honda van, Odyssey. It had 200,000 miles, and I decided I wanted to go to Maine for a lobster roll. So first I went to Maine. I drove all the way up. In Connecticut, I stopped, and I wanted to go to the yacht club. I said, I want to see this, and I didn't know it was private, so they took me to the hospital. I guess I was talking too fast, and then I stayed there for about an hour with both dogs in the emergency room, and they said, no, you can go, you're okay. And thank God. What if I'd gotten stuck there? So then I went all the way down around the Finger Lakes, and I went across, kept driving, and it's hard to sleep, but I would sleep in the van some. I had a pillow and stuff and a little blanket, but I was determined. And I stopped at a friend's house in Montana from high school and stayed there a couple days, but I was running out of money. So he gave me $200. He said, well, this will get you through. So I did make it to the Gates Foundation with the purple dogs, and I was excited. I said, wow, this is it. And I walked in and looked around. The dogs came with me, and I took my time and I wrote out the ideas and the plans for World Preschool on their guest book. I sat there probably 20 minutes just pouring my heart out, my ideas and things like that. And it's cost me a little bit of money. If I could have flown, but yeah, what a great adventure to drive across the country, the northern part of the country. And then I went over to the business set, and they were very nice, and I had taken them a postcard. And they said, can dogs? I said, they're service dogs. They're cool. And I talked to them for just a few minutes, not to give them a hard time or anything, and just left. But when I left, I couldn't find my car. And this guy came out, I think his name was Matt, looking for me. He said, here, you left your phone. Again, I do that. I tend to do that when I'm manic. And he helped me find my van, and then I headed home. And when I got to Nebraska, the lights just went crazy on my van, and it stopped working. And the police came, and they did a check on me, and there was something about stealing a $3 Slurpee or something, and I was like, that lady was wrong. She kicked me out, and I had my dog, so I threw the donut down. I didn't take the donut. So but anyway, they found Salvation Army, got me a hotel room for the night. I didn't have any money. I had actually stopped a couple places along the way, just kind of asking for money, and a couple people gave me some, like $20 for gas. And I'm in the United States. This isn't Syria, This is USA, still, I hope. And so then I ended up staying in a homeless shelter. The guys came to pick me up, and they said, well, what are you going to do with your dogs? And I didn't know, so we called the police. They said, you go back to the hotel and call the police. And the police called the SPCA, and they said, we'll hold them for a few days, because normally they adopt them out. And I was like, I guess I've lost my dogs. And there was a nice homeless shelter, It had a wing for the men, had a wing for the women and families. So I stayed there 2 or 3 days, and then somehow my aunt sent me some money to get the dogs out, and I got a hotel room, and then my dad paid to have the car fixed. So I do have family help at times. And I got home, I got home to Richmond, but then my alimony had stopped, so I had to give up the van until then I got a job because I got on new medication. I checked into the hospital, and my new doctor was good, and he actually got me on a better medication for me, and I got a job. So since then I've been working, regular part-time jobs. And I like house cleaning. It's kind of an art to it. So I enjoy that. And organizing. I love to organize people's shit. I do.